Hello everyone. If you are new to our channel, hit the subscribe button so that it will motivate me to produce more video in better quality. Now let's see what is our requirement. As per our requirement, there will be multiple images, meaning like these are files which will be posted to our blob. So this is our blob and it will be placed inside our container daily with date format, something like this. And previous day files will be archived to some other folder which we'll see it in a different video. So what is this data? So it's so simple. Just search something like this and go to this website and take a snap of this particular part and save it. So that is what I have it here in our blob. So let me show this. So this is the image. Similarly, for other data such as precipitation and temperature for other cities also we need to download. So how to download it? So take a snap of this particular part for precipitation and temperature for this part. So this is for Chennai. Similarly, take a snap for Kochi, and if you have other cities you can add them over here, and these are of format PNG. Now every day we will be expecting these images in this particular blob container with this date stamp. These images will be posted by some other team or some third party. In case if they missed to place any file, we need to let them know that these images are not available. In order to work on our scenario, I just kept only one images and rest of these images I haven't placed so that we can send emails for the missing files. Now, so for this scenario, I have created a logic app. If you don't know how to create a logic app, just watch my introduction video about it. And this storage account also I have created. Now we need to have this configuration somewhere. If you have a SQL database, you can have it over there, which will be good. Since I don't have any SQL database, what I'm going to do is I'm going to maintain this configuration in Azure storage tables. So in order to do that, first of all, let's create mapping in Azure table. Now let me go here to our storage account. Let me duplicate this tab. This is my storage account. Under that you have tables. I'm going to create one table. A table is created. Now go to storage browser here, and I'm going to tables again, and let me click on this table. This is a NoSQL table. So let me click on add entity, and here you need to provide partition key, row key and all. If you have no idea about this table, I have already uploaded a video on it. I will be providing the URL in the video description. Please do watch, where I have explained in detail what is partition key, what is row key and all. In a NoSQL, we need to pick up the partition key and row key. These are two additional property which we need to provide. This is based upon your data. To be simple, provide a partition key based upon how you group your data. For this data, we have precipitation, temperature and air quality. So these are going to be the partition key. Three different partition key are there, and row key is just simple. Inside the partition key, what is the unique identifier we are going to provide. Now let's add this configuration over here. So let me copy the property name, file name. I'm going to add a property, file name. Let me add one more property, format. I'm going to ignore this active flag. If you are maintaining SQL, then you can have one more column as active, and you can pick only the row which is having active as 1, and you can ignore which is having 0. So this is just for maintaining purpose. You can have it. Now let's fill these values for the first row, and this is partition key. We need to decide which partition key we need to pick up for this, and I'm just going to say how we have grouped our data. These are like temperature data, and this is air quality data, and this is precipitation data. So for this purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up this particular category. This is how I group my data. So I'm going to pick this as partition key. So let me name this as my partition key is going to be precipitation for precipitation data, and this is the first data inside it, so I'm going to keep it as 1. And for Kochi it will go as Roki will be 2. Anyway, let me copy this. File name is this, and the format is .png. Just click on insert. Now click on add entity. This is for precipitation, and row key is going to be 2. We can't put 1 over here because for the partition key precipitation we have already given it, so it will be a duplicate, so it won't let you to insert. I'm keeping it as 2. And this is Kochi precipitation. Insert. Now it's for temperature, right? For temperature, this is the first row. For the temperature partition key, this is what the first row. Basically you can pick up any partition key based upon your data. We have added the mapping. In order to start, let me go to our logic app. Let me select blank logic app. So as per our scenario, we'll be running this logic app every day once at a specific timing, let's say for example 10 a.m. something like that. So let me go to all. We need to set timer based trigger. So just select this schedule, and this we have already explained in detail in a separate video. Please watch the video in the video description. I am selecting recurrence. So how often we want to execute this logic app? I need to execute this daily once, so I'm going to keep it daily once. And here we have additional parameter to provide at hours and at minutes. So let me select this. So we need to execute this at daily 10 a.m. So I'm selecting this. If you want to execute at multiple timing, you can just check like this. But anyway, we are expecting the images to be available around 10 a.m. So I have selected this. As a first step, we need to get the entities from this Azure storage table. In order to do it, just click on plus icon, add action, and here look for tables. Yeah, this is the one, Azure table storage. So let me select this. And what action we are going to perform? Are you going to get what are the tables available inside this? So, or do we need to insert it? So we have multiple options. You can experiment with each of these items. For our scenario, we need to get the entities, meaning like everything, not entities, which means everything. So let me select this. Let me provide a name to our connection. And here we need to select the type of authentication, access key or managed identity. We have already covered managed identity in a separate video. For this video I'm going with access keys, and here we need to provide the storage account name. For that, just navigate to the storage account, and under security and networking, go to access keys, copy the storage account name, and here we can provide SAS token as well. uh, but for this video I'm going to simply copy the storage account key. Let me click on create. Now from the drop down we need to select the storage account name. So using that connection string we are able to get this, and we need to specify the table name. In a drop down we are able to get that file mapping, and if you want to pass some additional parameter like filter or select query, like if you have active flag, then you can make use of this one. Now let me save and run. Okay, it ran. Let me select this, and here in the output we are able to get everything. So whatever the data we have, let me copy everything and let me have in a notepad. So inside array we are getting everything: air quality, precipitation, and then temperature. Now click on designer. Now we have the mapping. We need to get whatever the available images which is available in the blob, right? So what is available inside this inbound, so that we can compare and we can notify what is not available, right? So we need to get whatever the item which is available inside this blob. So in order to do it, just click on plus icon, add action, and here look for blob, Azure storage blob, select this, and here what we need to do we need to create a blob? No. Do we need to get a content from a particular blob? No. We need to list the blob, so whatever the items available inside the blobs, right? So we just need to list. So let me select this, and we need to give the same what we did now. Authentication type, I'm going to select access keys. We will see about service principal in a separate video. I have provided both a storage account name and a storage account access key. Let me click on create. So let me select the storage account from the drop down, and which container we need to look for. So it's inbound. This is a container, and just click somewhere outside. Ignore this paging marker and flat listing. This is not required. Now let's save and run. It got completed, and here as well we are getting whatever the item which is available inside the blob. Let me have this here. So now my blob can have multiple items as well, so that is why array is there, so multiple images will be there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add whatever the items which is available inside the blob to an array. So in order to do it, click on designer, and I'm going to create a variable of type array. Variables, initialize a variable, I'm going to name the task, and this is of type array, and initially I'm not going to pass any value. Let me click on insert next step, add action. Now we need to append whatever available inside the blob to this particular variable. So in order to do it, just click on this, and here you have append to array variable. So let me select this, and let me select this variable which we have created, and for the what value we are going to append to this, I am going to append whatever the name we are getting from this, meaning like from the list of blob we are getting many parameters, right? So name, path, everything. So among this we are going to get the name alone, so that is why I'm going to select. So if you notice here, as of now there is no kind of for each, because there could be multiple items as well. So once I just select this, logic app will automatically create a for each, because it knows that there could be multiple items for this particular list blob. So that is why it automatically created a for each, which is good. Let me save this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to iterate whatever the item we have in get entities. So this is, I'm going to rename this task. So whatever we are getting from this particular table, right, we need to iterate and we need to look whether this file exists or not. So which mean we are going to loop each of the row and we are going to check whether that particular item available in this blob or not. If it is not available, we are going to mail them. So how to do that? First of all, in order to iterate, let me go here and just add action, all or built-in, go to built-in and select control. So for each we need to do a for each. So let me select for each, and based on what we are going to iterate, we are going to iterate based upon what we are getting from get entities from the table, right? So let me select this get entities results list of entities. So it will loop for each of the row what we have in the table. That's it. Now, so just for understanding what we are getting here, meaning like what we are getting in the append to array, what is the value we are getting here and what is the value we have it here. So I'm going to create one variable which you can delete it later. We are not going to use this value anywhere. This is just for the sake of printing. You can just click on add action. I'm going to create one variable which is of type array, initialize a variable. I'm going to name it as print blob items. So this is of type array, and value is going to be what we have, what we are getting from this. Already we are appending this here. I'm just going to select the same value. We are going to assign the same value so that it will print here. This is just for print. So let me name the task name as well. We can delete this variable later. Done. And now I need two more variable, meaning like this is for mailing purpose. One which will hold the list of files which is not exist in blob, right? We need to have something somewhere there, right? We need to have a variable which will hold this file is not available. So in order to do it, what I'm going to do is just I'm going to create a variable of type string. I'm not going to provide any value, and I'm going to create one more variable. Even though we are not going to do anything with this variable, I just need this just to show what value we are getting. So this variable is for, even though we have one more variable which will list out the available file, I'm just having one more variable. This is we are not going to do much with this. So anyway, I'll just create one more variable of type string. Okay, now let's come back to our for each. So it will iterate for each of the item which is available in the Azure storage table. Now we have the list of files which is available, meaning like in an array we have what are the files we have in the blob, and we have a for each which will pick up from the Azure table storage, which will show what are the file which are supposed to be there in the blob, right? So we have two items. What we need to do is we need to compare for each of the item. We will compare with this array whether this file exists or not. If the file doesn't exist, we will be adding like these files are missing. That's it. Okay. So in order to do it, let me jump back here. So now we are under for each, and let me add a step. Here we need to add a if condition. So in go under built-in, go under control. So this is what if condition. Just select the condition. So based upon condition, it will go either true or false. Now first of all, we are going to compare with the list of array what we are getting from the blob, right? So this is blob list variable, so I'm selecting this. So this is what we have given at the top. So this variable, so this is what we have appended over here. So whatever the item available inside the blob, so we have appended over here. Now let's come back here. This is done, whether it contains, and here we need to say which file we are looking for. But in the Azure table storage, we don't have the complete file name, right? We just have the mapping, meaning like something like this. We have the file name and we have the format, but we are looking for a file of this format, right? So let me copy this over here. So it will be like Kochi air quality followed by date png, and then Kochi temperature followed by date format and png. So this is how it will be, right? So in order to frame this, the expected file from the for each, so how to do that? Let me choose here. This is for each 2, so let me select the current item. Current item means a complete row which will return this part. This complete row will be written if I run as it is, which I don't want. Let me copy this, shift, let me copy, and let me go here and paste it. Let me remove this at part, we don't need this. Items of for each, which will return everything, but let's split up this part. This is file name, right? What we have over there, and followed by the date format, followed by the file format. We have the file name and the file format, we don't have the date format. Anyway, now in order to pick up the file name from the list of for each, how to do that? File name is there, so this is the key. Just copy this key, add a question mark, square bracket, single quotes, just paste which value you want to extract from. This will return the file name under, for every loop it will return the file name. This one, for the first loop it will return Chennai air quality, for the next one it will return Kochi air quality underscore. So this will return this part, which is good. Now, and let's look for file format now, then we will look on the date format. So in order to get the file format, it's just the same, just copy this part. Instead of file name, you need to provide the format. Simple, this key, this will return the format. The missing part is date format. So how to do that? Just go over here, let me remove this, go under expression and look for UTC. Now this will return date along with time as well, which we don't want. All we need is date, which is a format, date, month, and then year, hyphen. So this we need. So in order to do it, just put like dd hyphen mm in caps followed by YYY. This needs to be in single quotes, I guess. If we get error, we will remove this single quotes. Let me copy this and let me paste over here. So now we have the complete the file name which we are expecting. We need to combine all this, right? Then only we will get the complete string, meaning like the complete part. So how to do that? In order to do that, just remove this and look for concat. Concat will append or add the number of strings we have. So in order to do it, concat, just copy this, paste it, comma, followed by the next string, which is UTC comma, the format. That's it. Click on OK. We are checking for each of the item whether this available in the list of blob items, right? We are checking. If doesn't exist, it will go under false. So under false, let me add action, variables. If you remember, we have created one variable which will have the list of missing files. So I'm going to append, because we will have for each of the, if you pick up set variable, it will be replaced every time, meaning like for each of the items, so you won't have a complete list of missing file. All you will have is the last run loop value. So in order to do it, select append to a string variable. So to which one you want to append? To the missing files. And here we need to append the file name, right, of the particular for each loop. You need to pick up this one. If you remember, for each 2, not the first one, which is of different loop. You need to pick up this. Let me copy this, Control X. Let me remove the unwanted bracket and that part. So we are going to do the same, which will return the file name, which is good. Let me go to expression. Let me remove this and paste it over here and click on OK. That's it. If you leave as it is, what will happen is, this is how your output will be like, without spaces, your string output will be look something like this. But in the email, we want in a good format, right? Something like missing, below files are missing, and we need to have them in next line, so it will look good, right? So all we need to do is, for every item being added to this particular string, we just need to have it in a next line. So in order to do it, so simple, just copy the same part. We need this expression. Anyway, we have the expression separately in a notepad. Look for concat. Inside the concat, single quotes, or break. So this is a HTML format, so which will enter next line, comma, and the file name. Simple. Maybe if I show the final format, then you will get to know why I'm doing this. Click on OK. Now mostly we are doing operation with this one. This is just for dummy flow. This is which anyway, the file which is available, which will go here, add action. And if you remember here, above for each, we just created one more variable, so I'm going to append to that, append to a string variable, files available, and I'm going to do the same what we did now. Let me go here, let me copy this, shift copy, shift arrow, so that you can copy it. That's it. Now everything is fine. Let me run it once. Now it got completed. So it is appending whatever the file available inside this. And if you remember, these are the available, we have printed this particular array which is having only one file. Anyway, now let's go to for each. So we have 6 items inside this storage, right? storage we have 6 items, so for 6 item it got iterated, so that is why 1 of 6. For there will be 6 loop, just click on next next next, so that next loop it will go up. Condition for the first one, it is true, which means the file is available. So what is that file? Air quality, Chennai air quality file is available, that is why. So next, here for the next one it went to false. Here if you see, this is 0 seconds, this is 1 second. So what happened here? Kochi air quality file is missing, that is why it went up here. For the next one, again second file also missing, Chennai precipitation. Likewise, except one file, everything is missing, right? So it will keep on appending, and you may wonder why the other values are not showing up in the previous loop. So once we print outside this loop, you will get to see whatever the values, whatever the files which got missed. Anyway, now let me go to designer. We need to send out an email, right? Like these files are missing. So now to do it, just go add action and look for whatever the mail you want, whatever the connector you want. I am preferring Outlook now. You have two Outlook, Office 365 Outlook, which you do for your business, and this is a personal Outlook. So I have personal account, so I'm going with this. Do not look for Gmail, because since you are interacting with the blob and all, the connector won't support. So don't go for Gmail, just create Outlook account. Here what we need to do, we need to send out an email. Simple, send an email. I need to sign in with my Outlook account, so I'm going to sign in. To whom we need to send out an email, you can type it. So this is my another personal mail ID, so you can send to any email. So subject, and now we need to provide the body of the email. Here we need to provide whatever the files which is not available. So in order to do it, just click on view more, and this will have the list of missing files. So let me select this, and hope it's good now. And if you remember, we are doing outside the loop because we don't want to send email for each of the row, right? We just sent to final email, that is why I have kept it outside loop. So let me save and run. In the meantime, I will log in my Gmail account in the next tab. It got completed, and email task also ran fine, and I got an email to my account, and which is showing below files are missing. These files are there, but it didn't mention the the complete file name, right? It got missed. So why? Because let me go here, let me go to designer. Why? Because in the concat part, in this append part, we just included only file name, we haven't included the complete format. So in order to do it, let me go to condition. Here we have the complete part, but we don't have that br part, right? Just let me copy this. Let me paste over here. All we need to do is just append that br part alone, that's it. Come on. That's it. Let me copy this. And go here. Let me go to expression, paste it, click on OK, and same for this one. Expression, click on OK. Yeah. Now let me save and run. It got completed, and in my email as well, the format is perfect. Whatever the scenario we have covered so far is for date stamped files. What if our file doesn't have any date and we need to have a logic based upon the last modified date of the file? And this I'm going to cover in our next video. Hit the bell icon so that you will get notified when I post a video. Do follow me on LinkedIn to stay connected. Thank you.